This is the bell pepper I overwintered. It's starting to sprout. I moved them all in the sun. Had to make a pathway for the grand dogs too. So I picked a few things from the garden to make an omelette. I have some pea vine, a very small asparagus. I was hoping with all the rain there would be at least one good sized piece. Radish leaves, and I'm going to get some of the mushrooms and some onions, and I'm going to saute all this up. So everything's chopped up and ready to saute. So I decided it needed more greens, and so I got some spinach from the fridge. So I usually make a 1-egg omelet. It's perfect size for this tiny little pan. You probably can't tell, but it's the smaller size frying pan. And 1 egg fits in perfectly, but I was a little hungry, so I put two eggs in here this time. I also have some Parmesan cheese. I got my coffee and my omelet. I should have made the omelet in the next size up pan, because it took longer to cook, and I don't like it when it gets brown like this. I like it light and fluffy. I don't like my eggs overcooked, which this is probably normal for most people, but that's too much cooking for me. Dinky, no digging that up. Grandma worked hard on that. You guys want to go back in the house? I finally hung the little trivet thing. This was painted years ago by one of my mom's friends. She was an artist. It used to be over there, but now that little rack my daughter gave me is in the way, so I had to find another place, and there's not a lot of wall space in here. So Grand Dog's made it. I'm getting ready to make some lumpia, put them together. So I made the inside part of them last week, I think, sometime. I don't remember which day it was. I will attempt to put the first part of it where I made the inside portion at the end of this video. I don't know how to put it inside the video. The wrappers come, they're almost, I think they're thawed out. They come in wraps and bags. There's 25 in each bag. Oh. There are recipes on the back of this brand. Cymex. These recipes are very different from what my mom made. Now this one has shrimp and meat asado in it, Chinese mushrooms, bamboo shoots, rice wine. Yeah, I don't know what is traditional because I'm not Filipino. I just know that my mom started putting her egg roll recipe into lumpia wrappers instead of egg rolls years ago. So I just used the egg roll recipe that she used to use, and I put it into the lumpia wrappers too, just like she did. So I'm going to get the meat mixture out, and I'll put the list of ingredients. There's no measurements other than maybe the beef and the pork. There's really no measurements I have for the amount of vegetables. You just kind of got to gauge. I've never measured out a specific amount. I just go by what it looks like. But I will put a list of ingredients if I remember. My memory's not so good anymore. I will attempt to put a list of ingredients in the description box though for the entire recipe. So I got my little pan full of, well, not full, about a ½ inch of cooking oil, avocado oil. I'm going to fry up a few of them to eat over the next couple days. The oil really needs to be hot before you put your lumpia in, because if you put it in and it's not really hot, it's going to get mushy, and then it's going to fall apart and the insides will come out into the pan, and you don't want to do that. You also want to make sure you seal it up really good. I have an egg to seal the wrappers up with. I'm going to put the camera down. Okay. So here's the meat mixture. It's about half of it. The rest is still in the fridge. You have to be really careful when pulling them apart. You want to make sure they are thawed out. And some are probably going to tear and you probably won't be able to use them. Get this where you can see it better. I also have a baking sheet with some wax paper on it so I can freeze. So when I freeze them in Ziploc bags, but I freeze them separated so they don't stick together. Because if they stick together and you pull them out of the freezer, they're gonna rip and you're gonna have a problem frying them up without the insides coming out and making a mess. They are paper thin. You just peel them apart as carefully as you can. And you can make them really thin. You kind of have to guess how much to put in here because it's really hard to tell how many you're going to end up with, at least for me. I haven't made these in years because it's such a pain to make. And they're deep fried, so they're not very healthy. Okay. And this is just glue to glue the wrapper together so it doesn't come apart. And all the insides is enclosed in here, so it's not going to unravel. So this one's kind of messed up, so it's just going to be a small one, and I'll probably fry this one up. Today. Just fold it when you get it about halfway rolled. Fold the sides in. Yeah, this one already has a hole in it. That's not good at all. Yeah, see, all that stuff is just going to come out when you fry it up, so let's see if I can fix this. Yeah, this one's gonna get eaten today. My daughter brought me another dozen eggs, fresh eggs. So I might make some deviled eggs this week. So I think I'm gonna attempt an experiment, see if it comes out the right crispiness or whatever. I'm gonna air fry one by just putting some olive oil over one and then air frying it and see how it turns out. I think the oil is hot enough, so I'm just going to put a couple of these in here. And the one side is brown, you just flip them over. So this is after 6 minutes in the air fryer. So here's the air fried one. A lot less oil was used, so may not be as unhealthy. I'm going to let it cool off a little bit and then I'll try it. So you don't want them to touch each other when you put them in the freezer. And I'm just going to put some more wax paper over this and add the other lumpia. And the second layer goes the opposite way of the first ones that were done. So the sauce I'm going to use is half and half vinegar and soy sauce. You can use anything you want to dip it in. This is the air fried one. It's fine. So I think I'm gonna quit deep frying my lumpia because the consistency, the crispiness is just as good without deep frying them. Here are the deep fried ones. I'm just gonna eat one more and I'm gonna put these in the fridge. And I will reheat them in the air fryer. I'm gonna put these up and see what this one tastes like. It's a whole lot more greasy. I like the air fried one better. Now I wish I had air fried them all. So I have 7 wrappers left over. Usually I don't have any. I can usually stretch it out. But with this one, I usually make when I make it, because it's so labor intensive, I usually make 2 boxes of the wraps. So I usually make 100 at a time, and I double the meat and the pork. And because the cabbage, the Napa cabbage I used was only maybe 3/4 of a head, and I used fewer green beans than I normally do, I think it didn't stretch it out enough. So I have a little bit of egg left over, and I have so many eggs now. I think I'm just going to scramble up some eggs, double these up because they're so thin, and make like a breakfast burrito type thing. Ooh. My tray slid. So now I have to guess how many eggs to use. I'm gonna put some onions. I still have some frozen bell peppers from the garden last year, so I'm gonna pull those out too and use those along with some onions, and might put some salsa in there. I don't know. I have to decide when I do it. I also have a little bit of ham I need to eat up. Sauteing onions, bell peppers, and the ham up with a little bit of pepper. I decided to scramble the eggs separately because of the charred stuff. I don't really want my eggs to have that on it. So I made some fresh, fluffy scrambled eggs. I need to get some salsa. I think I'm gonna try one first. I'm gonna put it all together, a small one, and microwave it and see if the wrappers work or not. Because there's no sense in making up a bunch of them if they don't taste right. I do have flour tortillas I could use though. So I'm going to put 2 together because they're so thin. Okay. I'm gonna microwave it and we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna do it the same way as I did the lumpia. I'm gonna air fry these cheese sticks so they're not all greasy, well, as greasy as they would be. I poured some oil in here and I'm just going to brush it all over the cheese sticks. Try to. I microwaved the egg for the dogs. They just has to cool off. I put the cheese sticks in the air fryer. I'm gonna check them in about 4 minutes. So I had it set on 12 minutes and it's gone for almost 7, both sides. So I can't really regulate the temperature. I think it's always 400 degrees. It's just depending on how long you air fry it. I know others you can regulate the temperature and the time more closely, the smaller ones, but this one you can't. You just have to check on it. As far as I know, I can't change the temperature for the air frying mode anyway. So they're done. I'm just gonna eat one, the crispiest one. The rest, when it cools, I'm gonna put in the fridge, and then I'll snack on them for the next couple days. And I'll probably warm them up in the air fryer. So I'm gonna eat the crispiest one now in a minute. I don't know what he's barking. What are you barking at, buddy? There's nothing. Oh. I don't know if I should bite into this right now or not. Haven't got to the cheese yet. Every time I take a bite, the cheese just oozes out. They're actually pretty good. This is the one with the Tillamook cheese. I might eat 2 of these. Because now my left foot is screaming at me. And I'm going to give the dogs their egg. Yes, talking about you guys. It's cooled off enough. And I'm going to make some iced coffee because it sounds good. So somebody told, well, more than one person told me I'm really slow when I talk my videos. And that's because I can't think of things. I start out knowing what I want to say, and then I can't think of words. And I don't know if it's a normal aging thing. My doctor says it is. And I kind of talked to him about this a few years ago before I retired because I was getting worried. And it is one of the reasons that I retired earlier than I had planned. I retired about 5 years earlier than I originally planned to do. Because I'll be sitting there talking to somebody and the word I'm trying to find isn't there. And it's kind of scary. He assures me, because I did take a cognitive test. And I did okay on that, but I'm still not convinced I don't have some kind of dementia going on. So it's not funny, but if you don't laugh, you would just spend your whole life crying. So hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it's just normal aging, but that's the reason why I sit here and stare off into space, and I talk slow because I'm trying to grab that word that's not coming to me. So I sound like I'm really slow and not high functioning person, but it's just that I can't find my words sometimes. They're almost frozen solid. I'm tired of waiting though. Well, they might be frozen solid. They are. So I'm going to, I think I'm still going to wrap them in wax paper so they're not stuck together at all. And then I'm going to put them in to Ziploc freezer bags. I'm going to give half of these to my daughter. You just don't want them sticking together. It's been a while since I've made them, so I don't remember if the last time I made them, if any of them stuck together. It decreases the likelihood that they will if you pre-freeze them separately on a tray before you actually put them in a bag together. So they're ready to go in the freezer. Tomorrow is going to be around 80 something after today's chilly. I think it got up above 60, or was supposed to. I don't know if it ever did. It was a little chilly all day to me. And I'm pretty sure it's going to rain the next day. So I am going to attempt to finish my new birdie bed, fill it the rest of the way with the compost that's out there, get as many things planted as I can, including all my seed. So I have more than enough parsley. I'm pretty sure this is not eggplant. I think it's probably parsley. It looks just like the parsley. So none of the eggplant germinated, and nothing else germinated in here. Got good roots growing, so I'm going to plant these 3 outside. After I plant those, I will come back tomorrow and clip a couple more of these off and put them in the water to sprout. I have to make a decision about eggplant since nothing sprouted from my seeds. I don't think I have any left. Celery didn't sprout. The Lebanon mist didn't sprout. I mean, I might still have time for these because this says 10 to 20 days or so, 10 to 21 days, so they may still come up. The eggplant says 10 to 15 days. I'll give it another week. I'm gonna have to make a decision on whether or not to get some more eggplant though. Actually buy the seedlings. Unless something else lives out there. I have 3 plants that I didn't pull up. So normally they don't survive the winter here, but the roots of the one I did pull up look like it was still alive. So I'm going to take my bug netting off tomorrow and look at it closer. Probably take those bolt cutters and cut it down to the ground and see if I want to try and see if it's sprouted up or not. I'll see. The grand dogs took a nap. They were wore out from running around. And now they're back outside again. So I'm going to do my dishes and try and get to bed fairly early so I can get outside and do a couple hours of work in the garden before it gets really hot. Because if it gets up to the 82 or whatever it's supposed to be, it's going to be miserable. I hope you try the lumpia, even if you don't use my recipe. This box shows you exactly how to wrap them, and it gives you a couple of different fillings. There's vegetable lumpia, there's meat filling, and neither one are anything like the one I made. So thank you all for watching. Take care. Bye.